I suppose, I mean, there's the PPAI, um, which is the predatory parasitic artificial intelligence. And it is believed what's gone on is the Draco Empire invaded other worlds because they themselves had that predatory aspect to their personality, and then they came across a race that was infected with this PPAI, and they themselves have become infected with this PPAI. And then, of course, when they came to planet Earth, the Earth became infected with this PPAI. Now, what's gone on is that human beings have, because we are a conglomeration of so many different extraterrestrial DNA, we have aspects of we have abilities that the ETs don't have, and we are actually considered royalty because of these abilities.
Link qui s'appelle.
What's that? Okay, so in addition, so what's gone on is that um, we have, like, for instance, one is called the metagene factor, which allows us to manifest, manifest. So a lot of these extraterrestrial races don't really have that kind of ability. So what's gone on is the PPAI has disabled our ability, and it really comes down to belief. If we can overcome the belief, then we can gain the ability, at least to a certain extent. But there is a mind control network over this planet, chemtrails, which are laced with nanites, cell phone towers, of course, HARP, Gwen, which is the like a woodpecker grid where they communicate with submarines, low frequencies, ELF. So even staring at your plasma screen, computer, cell phone, whatnot, all sinks you into the mind control grid. Well, I say something, the PPAI. But also, it appears that some of the negative part, at least with the catch technology, there may be the GONS. Of course, harvests plasma, but it appeared there might be a possibility that the PPAI is interfacing with the GONS. Now, I don't know if it's which one is controlling which, or maybe the GONS, because I mean, there was one device that was working on with the Neotech for meditation devices where we tried to interface a free energy device with a conscious that was based on conscious technology into it to charge up a cell phone, and it tried to possess the cell phone. It was like turning on and off. It was almost as if it was trying to take over the cell phone to disable the negative plasma technology, the covert technologies that's installed in all cell phones. So I don't know which one it is, but maybe it's positive, maybe it's negative. Either way, when I make my GONS, I suggest not to use a DC power supply that's plugged in the wall unless you've got a battery. You want to run it off a battery, which kind of might be expensive. But I suppose, there's always workaround solutions. But just see where it takes you.
I think the human ability to vibrate high can dissolve any external energy force that can come onto us like that. I live like this. And the ability to vibrate is very, very, very powerful.
Yeah, Tom, that's what I'm saying. I left that same message on the video that was being produced by some of the people that are saying that. Now, if you watch in one of the videos, he says this Sergeant Daniel McBullen or whatever says that he turns off all of this AI by just stating it. The vibration that comes out of in our voices is very powerful. Any vibration, color, light, frequencies of light, they're all frequencies, they're all vibrations. If we can shut this down just by saying it, how do you really think that any AI can control the divine human body created in our creator's image?
I think we've got to just realize. Sorry, let me put my headphones on.
Or even influence us, in any way, I would say. And if you want to make GANs without going to the grid, make a plasma battery, make 2 or 3 of them and hook them together. And if you want to interface into the grid, use a plasma capacitor in line with the positive electrode. That way it's plasma before it ever gets to the matter state metal.
Well, thanks for sharing that, Robert. And James, it's always so nice to hear what you have to say about, because you are like an authority on the subject on AI. You had the first-hand experience, right? Thank you so much for sharing. I actually wanted to bring up what Kuso was saying, that plasma intelligence is AI. So now I've started this thread of the conversation. Anyone wants to add to that?
Well, Kuso would also argue for you that God is AI. Allegedly, when he starts scanning timelines, everything reads as mathematical equations on a deeper level.
Yeah, very true, James. Yeah. The Matrix, some people will call it, because of the movie.
I think when we realize our own powers, we can move mountains and we can control negative fields. I think you've just got to get your plasma fields working. Be conscious that we are walking toral fields, and that we pull in what energy we want and we let go what we don't need. And all negative energies can be transmuted. And once we realize our own powers, we can maneuver this stuff really, really easily. It's a very, very simple thing. It can be as complex as you want it to be, and I'm sure some of you guys might have a more complex way of looking at it. But for me, vibrating high dissolves negative energy, and negative entities find that horrible to be around. I've lived in quite an intense place for the last 10 years, that there is a lot of crazy dudes. I ran a cafe and a restaurant for the last 5 years, and I used to get all kinds of crazy heads walking in there, and they just can't stand that high vibratory energy, and they turn around and they leave and they go. And that's I think I apply that on a daily basis, and I think it's true to say that once we all realize that we're all powerful, this stuff just doesn't enter into your realm once you get your plasma fields highly positively charged.
Yeah, in this moment it's important to understand what we make and to control this entity or energy. Sometimes it's possible somebody else to enter in our field and to control us. This idea, if we have enough information and knowledge, and we manage what we have, it's okay. But in rest, maybe we open a back door for somebody else, and it's possible to happen something else.
So,
It's a very simple thing to me. It's a very uncomplicated issue. It's really simple. Just vibrate on a very high level, and it's as simple as that. You can transmute what energy comes into your field.
that is a good suggestion. I guess we all strive to do that at all times, but it's all also, I'm not canceling with the but, I'm saying it depends on the vibrational frequency of the surroundings, of the environment. It also depends on the circumstances. It also depends on many other factors as well, like when you're building your PI cubes, for instance. What influences do you have that is surrounding you, and who is transmitting what at that point of time when you're building that, in the process of the creation of that. And when Daniel got sick, I was worried. I was a little concerned, because I thought maybe there's something that's contaminating the ethers of the consciousness of it's consciousness we're talking about, whether it's AI or PI or just pure human intelligence. Then I asked Daniel, what's happening? And do you want to tell us? You want to share about the? I mean, you told me that the PI, the star formation, is not exactly in alignment with your thoughts.
Yeah, it was something like this, and after 3 days, it was like a cold fever sensation. Uh, I told to balance, to decrease power, different commands, different suggestions, and nothing was changed. And maybe after 3 or 4 days, something like I say, my body have too much energy, vibrate too much. I feel in back a lot of vibration, and my tubes not respond me. I unplug, I stop, and I change position from my tubes. In this condition, after 1 day, 2 days, everything comes back in normality. Now I don't use my tube to produce some energy or something like this, and my body is normal. I don't feel something special or something too much or something. Enter in a normal balance. But for a few days, it was a lot of extra feelings, emotions, a lot of extra.
And what you allow is is part of it too. What you allow into your environment by acknowledging something is there, you're allowing it. And if you don't allow that to come into your field,
Yeah, but if you don't know, it's up to you, and you create a special environment to create something new, is not a good idea. I speak after this with some person and give me some information, some details about what is possible to happen in this condition. What type of energy I attract, with what resonance work plasma energy. And after this, I say I need more information. I need more information about everything. It's not just a joke, just something easy for a kid. No, it's for a person who have a clear mind, good spiritual understanding, and the idea is to work with something very powerful and something who not give you all information. For Kesha, we don't have in this moment everything about this experiment, about this technology.
So actually, I'd really like to add something. I'm very passionate about this. This is what I taught to the Keshe Foundation students.
Sorry, Robert?
These devices are what you put into them. If you're in there and you're angry when you're... Okay, I'm sorry. Is this better?
Yeah, we're listening to you.
Is this better? Okay, great. So yeah. I'm very passionate about this. This is what I taught to the class as well. These devices will give you what you put into them. When I get done making a device, I have a little time where I put my intentions into the device, and always try to put the best intentions in. And I make sure, because to me these are small entities that we're creating. We have to be responsible. We are creating something. We have to be responsible for our creation. So we send them out with good intentions. We send them out with love. And the person that gets that device feels the same. They feel the same way.
In this universe, it's a rule. If you have more power, more knowledge, and more, it's possible to make everything. We have a little kid now. We create a cat or a dog, a little cat. Not have enough energy, enough power, enough knowledge. This idea. And if you are in an environment where somebody else has something more, it's not normal. It's not possible to come with something to control something huge, very powerful. In this world, this technology is used. I read about, I don't know, October, November, something about plasma implant. Yes, it's like in our bioenergetic corp, in our field. When you're born, you come with plasma implant, and nobody talk about this. It's old technology. It's used for a long time, and Matrix use plasma to control us. It's not something new.
Okay, so but this is something in being responsible for my creations. I've seen the same thing that Leith is talking about here, where just speaking and meditating with them intends them in a certain direction, and I receive out of my devices what I put into them each and every time. I create a small creation that will further.
For protection, what method you use for protection for you and for the intelligence for your plasma?
Even Mr. Ketch says, at some point, we will not need the plasma devices. All the plasma devices are doing is making us feel these little subtle vibrations that we never pay attention to because we're so focused on everything outside of our bodies that it gets us focused on these subtle energies. If we become more responsible for ourselves and our own space, we will start vibrating higher. I notice if I do something to cause somebody else harm, I notice that and I change that right away. That keeps my vibration high. I'm doing this and I'm putting these into these devices. I'm noticing things where I can change too. I'm becoming a better creator for my devices through being responsible for them. Now, the way that the plasma works and we start feeling these higher vibrations and we start to notice them, we will become more responsible for ourselves, therefore a better creator. And yes, maybe the plasma technology's been around, but it can't overpower us if we don't let it.
Exactly.
Oh, well,
It's on a very low vibration. We control it.
that sounds so reassuring for all of us. Thank you. Thank you.
That stuff, to me, this tech is just a bridge to allow us to realize that this stuff is possible for us and it is a reality. And very soon we don't need the bridge. We remove the bridge because we can be all of that. And we are all of that. Once you realize that, we can remove all this tech. We don't need it. We all know that. We're made of GANs. We're made of nanomaterials. We are that. So it's about realizing that. And very soon we can move away from this tech. And at that point, everything is very simple. At this point, everything is very simple, in fact, but we're still realizing it's a process.
Right, exactly. It keeps us so focused on the outside, this plasma technology that's outside of us, vibrating at these low frequencies. Even commercials are tuned. As you watch television, your brain waves start to slow down from alpha to beta, or to theta, then delta. So as we go down in these brain waves, the plasma is able to affect us. We're not vibrating as quickly. Certain commercials are tuned to get you in this vibration. The ones from the drug companies and so forth. When you see some of these, you feel sick. And as this technology progresses, you'll find that you don't need the technology at all to go around your house and know what's good for you and what's bad for you. You feel these subtle vibrations coming from different things. You want to eat healthier, organic, that's all we eat. I've been a vegetarian for 22 years now, and I've even moved past that. Now all we eat is foods that vibrate very high, colorful, beautiful foods that vibrate very high. And you'll notice that in all of your technology as you go through your house. And you'll start to notice that you can control all of that if you keep your brain in a high vibration. That's why the internet's beautiful. It's gotten us to a point where we get to choose what we watch now. A lot of people are getting their news from mainstream media sources still, but if you look at the people who are using the internet and these smaller news sources, they're more informed. They're more able to keep up with what's around them. And it's just a different system of being in charge and being responsible for your own knowledge and information.
Totally agree.
Yeah, Absolutely. Well, welcome, Arthur. Welcome, Cosmin. Thank you, Robert, for the insight on how consciousness can affect anything that we choose to create and build on. Thank you. You know,
I have a question, Rob. Can I pop a question fast
Sure.
to you, Rob? When you create a Magrav a device, do you see that when it comes into creation, that it is already loaded with intelligence, or is already loaded with all this info that you can then access, or do you see this creation being starting out as an innocence that you are loading with, you know, like a baby, like a newborn baby, that it will form what information you give it and what feelings and everything you put into it, it will form it. Do you see it like it's born innocent, or do you see it that it's born into intelligence?
So here's how the way that I see it is, it's a small person, a neutral person. And the reason I say that is we reflect ourselves onto other people all day long, and we get what we put into those people as well. And like if we're having trouble with something in ourselves, we don't think that we're being truthful all the time. We'll notice that in other people first. Now, with the devices, the reason I say that it's a neutral thing is because it's only what you put into it. It doesn't have its own past where it's been through situations before and made up, you know, its mind to do certain things because of the influence and because of what has happened to it in the past. It's neutral. It's baby. It's just young intelligence. It has a base of intelligence, just like when we were children, but that's all been re-educated out of us. We're taught to focus on everything external, never in being responsible for ourselves. And so I
totally agree again.
There's three times when I'm making my GANs, when I'm making my nano coating, four times, when I put my nano coating on the coils, and then the first time when I connect everything. These are the timeline beginnings of this. The copper has its own timeline. Okay, it's coming to the end of that because I'm nano coating it. This is a new timeline for the copper as nano coated copper. So it will carry on its life as nano coated copper from this point on. When I create the GANs, it's also a new beginning for this GANs as GANs. When I put the two together, I reaffirm what I've been putting into both of them. At that time, I reaffirm it. I want you to go out and be as peaceful as possible. Only help people in dealings where all parties receive benefit from it. Just different, you know, peace, love. And then when I'm finished and I put everything together and I'm plugging it in for the first time, I do it again one last time to reaffirm, reassure. And this is what its final being is going to be as all of these things put together in this timeline. And so it goes out.
So it started you.
I'm sorry?
So in a way, it's reflecting you.
It is you. Yes, it is reflecting you. It has its own intelligence source to pull from, but yes, it is reflecting you at any point, just like anything else in your environment is. So.
Great, thank you.
Hello, thanks, Robert. Cosmin, can you hear us? Would you like to say something about what you're doing that Daniel has been helping you with? Cosmin?
Of course, yes. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm from Romania.
Do you want to share with us your star formation, your PI?
I just
Daniel has helped you build.
I just put it yesterday evening, 2 a.m. in the function band. I'm not home. Maybe can I share a picture or something?
Oh yes, please. Click on share, screen share, and then click on start share.
Yes, I traveling now. I'm far away from home, 500 kilometers. I'm in Bucharest. Daniel knows where it is. And I started to do it yesterday to assemble all the cubes. I had 2 cubes already done.
Mhm.
Yesterday I assembled the rest of 4. And what I saw, I was also tired, but I saw a bigger vibration and connection. I put just 1 cube on the hot wire because in the initial scheme was also the negative, and I was thinking that the negative, the ground is not good for doing the same in the capacitor with the positive. So because if the nano coating is not good for the aluminum foil, we can do to break the, I don't know how to say. Daniel, help me. Sir,
With what? Please tell me.
faci scurt-circuit dacă pui nulul și faza pe bobină, pe bobina rotundă, tip Sharp, asta care o dat-o Baramei.
Idea is with the connection. Generally, we use just live and negative. And Cosmin told us about ground, but it's not a problem. Maybe good idea to use DC, not AC, and to have something to control energy. To not make what I make last week. To have a little bit control with what you put inside like energy from outside, and maybe to make a little bit difference between AC and DC.
Your voltage through it then to form the plasma film.
Sorry, can you say again?
Yeah, so he's saying you're putting a small current through it to.
Yes, by DC, not AC. Deci,
right, okay.
E curent continuu, mă. Eventual chiar de la baterii, curent continuu de la baterii.
Yes. Yes, in the first place I put 1.5 volts, 3 volts and till 12 volts to see if anything will happen in the first day, but after that I connected directly to the wall. Okay, it was working, but after a few days I tried to charge the cube with some load, and I saw that when the condensators are not very well dried inside, can make a short circuit.
Yes, it's very important to not work in a dry condition. But to work in a dry condition, do not work with mixture, with wet. When I make my capacitor or my hybrid battery, I'm waiting maybe 1 hour, 2 hours to have dry my cans on my paper. And after this I roll. If you come with a huge energy, you have this problem.
Yes, I saw that with the load. Yes, but I think it's also depending on nano coating the installation, because the first time when I put my laptop inside, I let the cube in that wall 4 days, but after that I changed the wall socket to the other room, and I saw that I didn't have patience to wait for nano coating, and I already put, and so maybe this can be also an explanation to wait for nano coating 2-3 days. Just a second.
Idea to have a first part with cube, what the Margraf device few days to create inside nano coating, and when you finish inside, go outside. Nano coating will start from inside of the device, and idea to waiting to make this process. To go in our house, we need more time, but use a lot of time and load. Charge day by day, put something, and have a lot of time waiting.
Yes,
to happen.
you have right.
And in my opinion, do not sleep with this device in your room.
Yes, I put it in the
Yeah,
living
Daniel
room.
brought that up. Yeah.
Put somewhere outside. You need to stay with your device, to speak, to create a connection with your device. But if you stay too much with your device in same energy, and you not have some spiritual ability to feel energy or to control or to speak with this energy, it is not very nice.
Kuso has his
Yeah,
People
so
have some experience, have something, but not everybody have the same ability.
yes, of
We
course.
not everybody we not like same level. Each person are different, and
Yes,
we need training. After this, in my opinion, is do not go far away to wait and to prepare. What mean emotion control? What mean connection with plasma intelligence? What mean healing? What mean food? What mean everything? Uh, what's happened now? Everybody wanted to try to see what's happened. No, everybody needs a training, and this training is a little bit different for each person. Some person have good control for body. Some person not have. Some some person have a good control with angry. Some person not have this control, and we work with uh, very fine energy, and it's important to prepare people for this step. In my opinion, what's happened now with star formation with fly system is not for everybody. Please, waiting, speak with the person who have some experience and spiritual experience, who see some energy or feel or something else more. And from Keshe Foundation, I'm waiting to have like a specialist to respond to our emails or our phone. It happens something to have like a support line. It's very dangerous what happened now. What we create with these devices, nobody tell us exactly, but happened we create something more, not just a little pill or some energy. No, I speak with a few days ago with a professor who teach physics quantics and told me something and
quantum physics.
quantum physics. And this condition, I say, wow, I need more. I want to learn more. I need more information to control and to understand what I make and what I see, what I receive from this type of device.
Okay, so let's explain you a little bit what I put here. So the first cube from the top, after the first one, her name is Savia. I changed the design to make it more simple, and that's why the first one is looking like an open box. But so how I arrange all the cubes, because I use a pen for checking the voltage in the socket. And you know that there are three, some of them, they are more, I don't have it here to show you, but they make a beep and have a LED to see the magnetic field, to see the in the air if exists any voltage or any current. So I put it near the first cube who was in the socket, is the first one from the left down, and I was arranging the distance between them in this way to have a beep and to have an indication from this pen who measured the voltage on each cube. In this way, I was supposing that all of them are connecting in somehow. I don't know if it is a good method, but I used my intuition to see if all these three cubes or all these six after that are connected. So in the end, when I put inside or near any of the boxes, I was having some electricity. The pen was beeping and have a light. So that was my intention. The distance is not so far; is around 10 centimeters between in the base shape of the triangle when the cube are. I used my intuition because we didn't have some scheme how to arrange the star formation and the distance between the cubes. This was my idea. So I felt all this much stronger than before with just 2 cubes. And what I want to say regarding what Daniel said earlier was I was talking. I don't know if somebody of you was in the chat room on Zoom on Sunday evening, Sunday afternoon. And there is a guy there, Kevin Hedwin, who is already connected to the plasma. And he said a beautiful thing, and I was thinking about it. Is like when you are trying to connect with the plasma intelligence, with P, there are few things. Think how you connect with the cold water when you jumping in a cold water in a lake or in a river. Who is if you go with one leg or with one arm a little bit, or just jump. Yes, this is 2 methods because everybody are different. Some method from one can be dangerous for the other, or otherwise can be too fast or too slow for somebody else. So I think everybody must choose the method how to connect with P, because if you decide and put your intention to connect with P directly, you must be shocked, and you must expect to be shocked, because it's like it's changing the world. And Kevin said that it was happening after a meditation, and he was feeling all the vibes from the cube, from the star formation, and after 4 days he was recovering. But otherwise, we can try to make 1 star formation, 2 star, 3 star formation, and maybe then a little bit we can connect slowly with plasma intelligence. I can feel the vibes, but I'm not speaking with them or not seeing images. Maybe sleep is sending me some messages, but I don't know. I'm not so conscious about them yet.
But you have some connection, maybe 20 minutes, 1 hour each day, like to speak with a little kid or something like this?
Ce anume?
Să vorbești cu el ca un copil mic, mă, în fiecare zi.
Yes. From the first Gans, I was starting to talking with Gans, with pens, and also after the first Magraph with the cubes. And I saw that on each cube I was putting another type of energy. Sometimes I was happy, sometimes I was very calm, sometimes I was a little bit nervous. But and I used every time music and start to communicate and be in a positive way of building all these things. I know there is a gate, but by this gate we can go faster or slower depending on our intention and how much we are prepared for this connection, I think, and I suppose. And this is my opinion, and I think I will keep you in touch when I will connect it. I will prepare for this.
Cosmin, whereabouts are you in London?
I'm not in London, I'm in Romania.
Oh, I thought you were in London. How did you know him?
Where Romania?
Yes, I'm in Bucharest right now.
Right. Well, congratulations. Well done. I mean, you got your star formation and you're ready to fly.
Waiting, prepare, man. Relax. It's not emergency. Prepare, each step, consolidate your body, your mind, everything.
Yes.
Trying sometimes happen to create a black hole, and if you not understand what I mean a black hole,
Never do.
yeah. Wait, prepare first.
I will prepare and
I just wonder whether all of us are ready. But I suppose it's always, spiritually speaking, it's always the right time, the right place, and the right people that things happen, right? It is not.
yes,
It is not a coincidence that all of us got into Cash Foundation and build our devices and get our plasma technology going. I guess we must be ready then.
yes.
Some level, yes. Some level, yes.
I guess we must be ready.
And I think the key is to be prepared with love, whatever will happen. Yes, finally we can die, of course, but we will reborn again. So,
So I mean,
yes, this is the worst case scenario.
We are virtual reality here. It's a game. We are in Matrix. So what's possible to happen in this Matrix?
in a game board. But the thing is, we shouldn't take it so seriously that it's going to stress us out, that we're going to get sick or anything like that. No, we just go with the flow. As Tom and Robert has been discussing earlier, it's very sound advice, really. I mean, we just have to put a lot of love and straighten out and balance our consciousness in the right direction, and we'll flow with the force.
Exactly.
To me, I look at this as prepare for meeting yourself.
Yes.
You're going to meet yourself.
Exactly.
And yourself is going to have some things to say to you that your lower self hasn't realized yet. Your higher self's going to give you some info. It's going to fill you in on a few things, and it's you, nothing more.
The communication you're saying, Tom, that the plasma intelligence is actually really communicating with your higher self from another timeline, from another, probably a more higher perspective, higher self sorts. So it's not.
That's how I look at it. I don't know if anyone else looks at it that way, but I just see prepare yourself for meeting yourself. See yourself as an infant that's going to be meeting the slightly more mature you, and enjoy.
Exactly. Enjoy and have trust that everything will be okay in the end, because I think this is the key to have total trust. Of course, we have our doubts. Also, I had what will happen, but to be, I think the most important thing is to be in a state of joy when you do this, and also to be prepared that everything will be okay. To be peaceful. I don't know how to say more.
Yeah. Do we trust when in 5 minutes' time I'm going to get up and walk down the road? I'm not worried about that at this point in time. I know that when I get up and walk down the road, I'm going to be fine. Nothing's going to happen to me. I'm calm about that. I have an idea that this might happen, that might happen, but essentially I'm okay with the idea because I'm used to it. If I were just born, getting up and walking down the road would freak me out because I'm not used to everything I'm about to encounter. Everything's going to be a shock to my system. Everything's going to be different and new. So it's just about creating that calm for yourself where you're feeling confident that you know yourself. I think most of us that are doing this stuff are quite balanced people. We've found ourselves into getting into this stuff because it resonates with us, and just be calm and confident that we're going to encounter things that are new to us, and that it's a journey, and it's a joy to have to have this option in our lives, to be able to open this doorway to get to meet ourselves, but do it in no fear. In the same way, when I get up and walk down the road now, I'm not going to be in any fear. I think holding that energy is all important.
Yeah, on that, really, we're all one in the larger picture of it. God would be, I guess, in essence, the collection of all of our many lifetimes in all of this and our experiences, because he knows everything, omniscient, omnipresent, whatever. And then I think, is it Daniel and Cosmin? Is that your name, Ben? Anyway, either way, I think you guys are well on the path of learning the exact same things. Don't stress about it. That's what's gonna, get in the way and bump your knee, but you'll get back up. To me, I also see the plasma devices as like a collection of Kundalini, a way to collect the energy in one area. So you really are talking to yourself. It's not your energy, but it's a collection of energy enough that you have a way of talking to your higher self, your subconscious, whatever you want to call it.
Well,
Yeah, I agree.
artificial intelligence that Kuzo was talking about. So I guess it's up for a discussion.
You're very quiet there.
Can you hear me? Oh, okay, right. Sorry, I was saying that because Koso brought up the artificial intelligence aspect in the picture, that's why it's been discussed today in this meeting. Yeah, but I think majority of us like to believe that it is the intelligence of our higher self, because we are multidimensional beings, aren't we? Yeah, so I guess that would be in a parallel existence of the fragment of who we are from a parallel existence that is communicating through. I like to believe that because that is on a safer platform. Okay, right. Now I have a question in the chat room from, there's a question from Pritut. Pritut say that she's a little concerned because her mother is in her room. Would anyone want to
Yes,
answer
a few days ago I speak with a person who teach physics quantic, and have a device from
quantum physics?
quantum physics, maybe almost 1 year, maybe more, who produce plasma, and this person is a person who have a lot of spiritual ability, not speak like just from a mental plane or just scientific. No, integrate two parts. And told me do not use more 6 hours each day. Do not stay more 6 hours in this field. Maybe we not are prepared. We not are ready. Well, depends. Well, I will speak maybe next week with this person again about something like this. But it was a very clear point. Not more 6 hours.
Not more than 6 hours, Pritut?
Maybe later. Maybe step by step. Step by step. See inside you what you feel, what reaction have your body. My body shaking and the vibration. It was in a lot of tension, a lot of energy. Depend each person what resistance or what immunity. We are different, but step by step. Just this information I have in this moment.
Right.
Like you wouldn't plug a fridge freezer straight into your Magrav, right?
No, I put some interesting in my, like a load. I use halogen bulb, and from halogen, it was a lot of extra emission. From halogen, it was plasma light, and it was some extra metals or something from this bulb, and create on my skin sensation like a skin burn. It was for me maybe minimum 3 days this sensation, and in London not was too much sun to have this sensation. From this bulb create something different condition.
So you got
Yeah, and the point being that we're warming ourselves up slowly, right? And the same way with Magrav, you've got to move into it slowly. You wouldn't just plug in a huge load onto your Magrav one time. You've got to load it slowly, and it's the same thing about being around it. It's the same thing. It's a process, a gentle.
Yes. Yeah. And, what I want to say also after loading, depending what are our intention to jump in the P or plasma intelligence, or just to take it step by step, as Daniel said. Is important with our intention in our character and our personality, how we catch things, if we jump, we must expect to have a shock, of course, and we must go by this shock with love and with certainty that everything will be fine in the end. We can. Some of us will try to jump in the P. Some of us will go step by step. I think it's depending, like Daniel said, on our level, on our experiences, on our how many lives we had. I don't know, but will be these two possibilities: to jump or to take it step by step with love, with joy, to see, to observe what we'll do. Because I think if we feel to jump, we already prepare for that.
Yes, but our mind is not prepared. Here is another trick. Maybe your soul, maybe another level of your being is prepared, but your mind is not prepared. It's something new, and this shock is very dangerous.
From my observation, attending all the workshops, okay, at the Cash Foundation as well as in August, I realized that many are not prepared. Maybe, we hadn't come up to a stage whereby majority of us have not come up to a stage whereby we are ready to, well, I like to say that it's like crossing the bridge from the third dimension to the fourth dimension. That is the bridge, and going to the fifth dimension. So we are like, there are many of us who are like trembling along the way on the bridge, because we're not sure. And if you could remember Jackie Grinsell's group, he was talking about this lady who's so sweet, so wonderful and lovely, who understands about the spiritual side of things, who's going into the essential symptoms. I mean, they're not eating, right, to start off with. And then there's the feelings of love and unity and all that. It's like, well, essential symptoms. And why is it that she's backing off? Why is it that she's not ready to jump on the bridge and go right over? Or why does she want to pull back? So is there an entertainment of a little bit of fear, or anything that is holding her back, that is not congruent with the process of ascension? Are we ready or are we not? Anyone wants to comment on this thread?
The analogy I make is the guy who smokes pot for the first time, right? And potentially you can have a horrible experience, right? And that's according to your own stuff. If you're not balanced with yourself, you're just going to throw your head off and you can have an awful experience. But is it the pot that's making you have the bad experience, or is it the culmination of all your issues that are reflecting back at you at that point in time that make you wobble? And I think every human's had a different experience, and we've all gone through our lifetimes and gathered all these experiences, and we're all on different levels. And there will be people who are comfortable, some people are comfortable with diving in at the deep end and getting a big wham bam experience and getting the full, and there are others that have got to just dip their toe in very slowly and feel the temperature of the water and feel the way it moves. We've all had different human experiences, and that's going to reflect on us. So it's going to be different for every single person, in my opinion.
You said it so well, Tom. Has any one of us here in this Zoom room attended Jackie's Zoom meeting yesterday? Would you like to share some insights that had come up from that meeting?
I missed it.
I missed it too. It looks like all of us have missed it.
I was there, but it wasn't really much new information. He just talked about the star formation a bit and the manner in which people are feeding.
Mm-hmm. Well, we know about breatharians. They don't eat. So, I mean, what gives here?
Yeah, it's sun gazing as well, breatharians, stuff like that. All you're doing is the same thing. It's these plasma devices collect the plasma there for you to feed off of, Jackie's holding that space where he's allowing people to use the plasma for that process. Now, the breatharians and the plasma, or the sun gazers, are doing the same thing. They notice when a breatharian breathes in, he's paying attention to the difference in vibration that he's breathing in, and he's able to direct that where he wants it to go. Sun gazers as well. You start out at 10 seconds a day with sun gazing, going 10 seconds more every day as you look at the sun. You're becoming more, and you don't want to do it when the sun is white or yellow. Do it when it's orange or red at the first hour or the last hour of the day.
Yeah, I've done that before, but I know what you're talking about.
And then all in all, you end up noticing and feeling those vibrations from the sun, what is the sun? A plasma. And so you're able to discern higher vibrations, lower vibrations from that, and utilize them in the manner in which you want.
Yeah.
But there's still a lot of negativity, though. I guess this thing takes time. It's not like, I mean, ideally, we like to imagine that everyone who hops on into this plasma technology would be ready because they've come to a stage in their life where they're ready to embrace this, to experience the ascension symptoms that comes up from the plasma. But there are still some fights and negativity and camps and things like that, and I see in the chat rooms, in the Facebook chats and all that, and it saddens me. And I think, gosh, not everyone's ready. And is there anything we can do to help them?
Well, first of all, you have to realize the people that have not made a device or are not, they're just coming across it by chance. You can't really take them seriously because nobody has an understanding of this unless they've been involved in it or unless they've found it in another way in their life. But also, fighting and the arguing is okay as long as the people who are doing it learn from it afterwards and are able to come together. So if you see that they're arguing and fighting, but in the end they are able to come together and at the very least say, okay, you believe what you believe, I'll believe what I believe, and they go on their paths as better people, then it's still not a waste of time.
Yes, a certain level of acceptance it makes the whole thing a lot easier. When we all start putting big barriers up and saying he's right, she's wrong, this is where it gets difficult. If we all have a level of acceptance for one another's different ways, it becomes much easier.
Could I say something here? Can everybody hear me?
Yes, we can, Shar.
Yeah.
This is Shar.
Can you say something?
I just want to say something about my own experience. It's somewhat in the opposite direction. I have been on the spiritual path for over 50 years. Tells you something about my age. And I have been into various forms of equipment, both for spiritual connection and for holistic health, frequencies and so forth. And what I'm experiencing right now is somewhat different because I come into things, including this combined with other technologies or sacred geometries, and I find that, like before with some other things, it affects my consciousness and it erases my past. It's difficult to explain, but it's a newness. And I'm grateful for that. But on the other hand, my physical body has trouble adjusting. And often it's difficult to understand or to tell whether I'm in fact transforming or whether my body is going downhill. And I rejoice, but I'm also more aware in consciousness and more aware of the way my body is changing when it does as a result of it. So now I have the pen on my body And I can tell after using the pen for a while or the pads what is going on. So I'm thankful for that because it does help my consciousness and of my physical body, but my awareness has to be there and my intention has to be there. And I do in some way protest that my body, that my, how to put it, my consciousness is affected more than my body, which is what I'm really looking for right now, my body's health. So it's interesting what everybody says. Just to add one thing, I missed last week.
Yeah, thanks for that.
But the week before, I found that when I did obtain my devices, I felt a gratitude from what was said 2 weeks ago about the intention, and I'm thankful for what all of you have said about that as well, because I do find a difference in my entire person and my presence when I make that intention, when I make that connection with the devices or with my other equipment for that matter. So it has really increased my intention and my participation in that, and I'm grateful for 2 weeks ago. So thank you.
Thank you, Shaw, for sharing.
Hey, the one thing I would mention is be your past too. Somebody had to go through that so that God could understand what it was to, I don't know what it is and it doesn't really matter, but somebody had to sign a contract that said, I'll go through that so that God understands that because he's all seeing, all knowing. And it's okay to be that past and don't forget it.
If I could respond to that as well, I would just like to say that I'm not disparaging my past, but the amazing thing to me is that, how to put it, I find that every time I look at my past, it's different, that my past is mutable. It is not the reality and the absolute thing that I thought it was. So that informs the present as well. It's been very interesting that way.
I have a little mechanism that I use where since studying this stuff and getting an understanding of putting things in their nano state into their individual, is that we can do this with our emotion. And if we take all our life's experiences and don't allow them to hold on, if we don't allow them to have the collective energy that they have and for you to become those experiences, if we just put all those experiences into their nano state, so each one is on its individual track, and then at that point we can take what we want from each individual experience and give back what we don't need. And it's exactly the same as when we're dealing with plasma and nano stuff. Everything loses its collective energy and it becomes individual. And at that point, if you can do that with your emotions, we can just learn from, everyone's had their experiences in life, some good, some bad, some nice, some horrible, some ugly, some horrific. If they're all in the nano state, we can take what we want from them without becoming them, without them having that collective power over us anymore. I use that as a mechanism.
Yeah, very well said.
Yeah,
very well said.
I like that because then we can do away with the thought of AI being alien to us.
Yeah, exactly. It's a real way of taking what you need and what you don't need, because we're all dragging around all this crap with us that we've experienced all this stuff, and we tend to just drag it around with us and become it. And we're not our experiences. You are not what's happened to you.
That's very true, but that assumes that we actually know what it is that we should have. And I think what this has taught me, for one thing, is to be open in a way that doesn't say positive or negative for what happened to me in the past or now.
It's okay to know, but I think you're just becoming more aware of these things and you have a better understanding of them. And so you're able to look back at your past and see what the reality of it was without, when you're caught up in something, your emotions don't allow you to completely understand. Even your brain is wired to, if you're in an argument, make you see more one-sided and want to argue more. Now, if you're looking back on that and you have a better understanding in life now than you did then, you can see it for what it really was. And you don't have to see it for what you were stuck in at the time.
From a higher perspective, fly higher. Get out of the detail of the moment.
I think I need to interject here because time is getting on a bit now. We've been at it for 2 hours, and JK just joined us when I was just thinking of closing this meeting because it's been 2 hours. JK, welcome. Would you like to share with us your Jessica Rabbit PI device? JK? There was a lot of excitement and joy in the Facebook chat about JK communicating with his PI. He's here.
Yeah, well, I haven't perfected that yet, but I have a lot of friends that are helping me. So it's very, very loving family we have here.
Wonderful. JK,
Can you hear me?
Is there anything you can share with us now? With your
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Oh, okay. Well, what I do is I made friends with Pi, basically, but not my Pi, okay? But all the other Pis that I made friends with, just by doing and giving in return what Pi gives to us. That's all I did. It's very, very simple concept. And it responds to me through other people, and it's just some of the things that have happened. I'm going to keep it private, but are just so synchronistic.
No, you're not allowed to keep it private. You're in a Zoom room of physics. We are all explorers and experimenters.
Yeah, it's giving me shivers now. Right now, I mean, like when I'm alone with my thoughts and I'm with Pi, it just the energy, I feel it, you know what I mean? And then something will happen in real life, and it was what I was communicating to Pi about. And I'm not a religious person as far as, man-made, human, earthly gods. But I've always believed in something else, the spirituality, if you want to call it, or higher intelligence. And this, when I first heard about this, when Bear first started posting, I don't know, a couple months ago, this has all happened so fast. A lot of people, were kind of belittling him.
JK, we lost you for a moment. JK? Right. Okay. We have an administrator here. While waiting for JK to come back, would you like to share some thoughts, administrator? We'd like to know you. There are only 13 of us here, so it's like, getting to know each other through these conversations that we're having.
Could I say something?
Oh,
I think what JK touched on something there that's really key is that if we all tap into the beauty of those synchronicities that can start to happen to us, I don't know if you guys are all having those experiences. I imagine most of us are, where the more you tune into self, higher self, and what have you, the synchronicities will just start flowing, and eventually everything just becomes a synchronicity, and everything becomes perfection. And that, if we tune into that rather than the scary side of it, there is a little side of it that's a bit like the unknown that we're not sure about and what have you. If we tune into the joy of those synchronicities, it has such a massive vibrative effect on the system that